It was supposed to be the next evolution of multiplayer gaming, coming from the legendary creators of Left 4 Dead. It won a staggering number of awards before it was even released. So how did one of the most hyped games of its time, Evolve, die a spectacular death while another asymmetrical game, Dead by Daylight, rose to dominate the entire genre? In this video, we're uncovering the shocking corporate blunders and community backlash that led to its downfall, and the secret, fan-led project that's bringing it back from the grave. Picture this, it's early 2015, and the buzz around a new game called Evolve is electrifying. Developed by Turtle Rock Studios, the masterminds behind Left 4 Dead, the hype was real. And the concept, it was genius. A fresh, ambitious take on multiplayer shooters, an asymmetrical 4v1 showdown. 4 players, each with a unique hunter class, Trapper, Support, Medic, and Assault, would team up to hunt down a 5th player controlling a single, powerful monster. The catch? The monster could feed on wildlife, grow stronger, and evolve through 3 stages, turning the hunters into the hunted. The game promised incredible tension and deep strategy. Early gameplay showcases were a masterclass in pacing, showing off tactical team play clashing with the raw power of an evolving beast. It felt like a solid, timeless formula. The press certainly thought so, showering Evolve with Game of Show awards at both E3 and Gamescom, a rare feat at the time. With Turtle Rock's pedigree and a concept this strong, Evolve was set up to be the next big thing. A game that just couldn't fail. For a brief moment after launch, it even looked like that was true, with a healthy player count and tons of streamer interest. But that success was tragically short-lived. Just beneath the surface, a series of catastrophic decisions were about to send this award-winning behemoth hurtling towards disaster. The first and most immediate problem, the one that poisoned the well before most people even set foot on the planet Sheer, was its monetization. Evolve quickly became the poster child for everything gamers hated about DLC. Even before launch, publisher 2K Games announced a confusing and, frankly, insulting web of pre-order bonuses, special editions, and season passes. The real firestorm erupted on day one. Players who had just dropped $60 on a base game were greeted with a storefront already packed with paid add-ons. The total cost to get the game and all of its available launch day DLC was somewhere in the ballpark of $120 to $130. This felt less like supporting a new game and more like being nickel and dimed from the second you logged in. Gamers felt ripped off, and the backlash was brutal. User scores on sites like Metacritic plummeted as players voiced their anger, feeling that a full-price game shouldn't be milking its community from the very beginning. Now compare that to Dead by Daylight, which launched a year later. While DBD also has tons of DLC, it mostly focuses on cosmetics and offers a mix of free and paid characters, a strategy the community found more palatable. By selling core gameplay elements like new hunters and monsters, Evolve created a pay-to-win feeling that split the player base and generated massive ill will. The publisher's defense, that this was just how modern gaming worked, only threw gasoline on the fire. The damage was done. For many, Evolve would forever be that DLC game. So what happened when you actually looked past the price tag? While Evolve's core concept was brilliant, its fundamental design had some deep-seated issues that quickly pushed players away. The biggest offender was its rigid role-locking system. In every single match, there were 5 mandatory roles, 1 monster and 1 for each of the hunter classes: Assault, Support, Medic, and Trapper. If you wanted to play as a monster, you had to queue for just that role and then wait and wait and wait. If your favorite class was Medic, but someone else grabbed it, you were stuck playing something else. This led to huge frustration. Players couldn't consistently play the part of the game that they actually enjoyed. Matchmaking times ballooned as the game struggled to fill all 5 unique slots, especially as fewer people wanted to play certain roles. Dead by Daylight completely sidestepped this problem with much simpler design: 1 killer and 4 survivors. Survivors aren't locked into classes, they can pick any character and use a shared pool of perks. That freedom makes getting into a game fast and ensures players actually have control over their experience, a crucial element Evolve completely missed. On top of that, there were serious balancing problems. The monster, the game's main attraction, often felt underpowered and just frustrating to play. Early on, a monster like Wraith was a nimble glass cannon, but after a string of nerfs, it became just glass. Meanwhile, hunters got buffs that swung the pendulum way too far in their favor. Playing as the monster started to feel like a chore, a frantic, often hopeless scramble to survive against a coordinated team. Players began avoiding the role in droves. This created a death spiral. Fewer monster players meant longer hunter queue times, and the few remaining monster players were often inexperienced, leading to boring, one-sided matches that drove even more people away. Turtle Rock reportedly wanted to push out balance patches more frequently, but their hands were tied by their publisher 2K. Unlike Behavior Interactive, who self-published Dead by Daylight and could react quickly to feedback, Turtle Rock was stuck. The game couldn't adapt, or ironically evolve, in the ways it so desperately needed to. In many ways, 2K contributed to the decay of Evolve more than Turtle Rock ever did. The combined weight of the DLC drama, matchmaking headaches, and balance issues was crushing. Evolve bled players at an alarming rate. What was once a bustling new multiplayer world quickly became a ghost town. The game was marketed as a sweaty, competitive title, but it failed to build a casual audience because its steep learning curve and punishing gameplay were just too much for most people. In a last-ditch effort, Turtle Rock and 2K relaunched the game in 2016 as Evolve Stage 2, a free-to-play version with revamped progression and rebalanced gameplay. And for a moment, it actually worked. The player count surged, but the revival didn't last. The core design flaws were still there, and the new wave of players quickly disappeared. Less than 2 years after its hyped-up release, Turtle Rock announced that they were done with the game. In 2018, 2K shut down the dedicated servers, and Evolve was, for all intents and purposes, dead. Meanwhile, Dead by Daylight was thriving. It took a different path, focusing on accessibility over hardcore competition. It built a massive roster of iconic licensed killers from famous horror franchises, creating a crossover appeal Evolve never had. Its business model felt fairer, its updates were frequent, and its core gameplay loop was simply more fun for more people. Where Evolve demanded rigid teamwork and brutally punished failure, DBD allowed for wilder, more emergent gameplay moments, making it a far more replayable experience. DBD became the undisputed king of asymmetrical multiplayer, not by being better than Evolve, but by understanding what actually makes the genre last. The story doesn't quite end there. Even after the official servers went dark, a small but fiercely passionate community refused to let Evolve die. Their dedication led to one of the most surprising comebacks in recent gaming history, a secret fan-led revival. This revival is centered around a Discord community known as Evolve Reunited 2.0. Through fan-run private servers and custom matchmaking, these players have essentially brought Evolve back from the grave. Then, in a bizarre twist in 2022 that not even publisher 2K could initially explain, peer-to-peer functionality for Evolve Stage 2 just started working again. This was largely thanks to the community repeatedly petitioning 2K to fix a bug that had disabled it. This fan project lets nostalgic veterans and curious newcomers experience Evolve's unique gameplay, free from the monetization and server problems that killed it. Players can find matches, organize tournaments, and keep the hunt alive entirely on their own terms. The community even created patches to unlock all the characters and skins, delivering the complete experience that was once locked behind paywalls. It's a powerful testament to the strength of Evolve's original vision. While corporate decisions doomed it commercially, the core idea of the hunt was so compelling that fans took it upon themselves to ensure it would never truly go extinct. With the ability to emulate the game instead of purchasing it, all the DLCs being free, balanced gameplay, and even modded games making it possible to play with new hunters and monsters. I'll leave a link to it below. The community is extremely welcoming and willing to walk you through setups step by step. And don't worry about being new to the game if you are. All those friendly people are more than happy to take you under their wing if it means one more person joins the fray. Evolve remains a fascinating and cautionary tale. It was a game with a brilliant concept, a AAA budget, and a legendary studio behind it, yet it failed spectacularly. Its demise is a stark reminder to the industry: an aggressive business model can kill even the most anticipated game, and a flawed core design can't be saved by hype alone. In many ways, it stumbled so that games like Dead by Daylight could run. But the secret revival by the fans proved that a great idea never truly dies. Even years later, the thrill of the hunt continues on sheer, not because of a publisher, but in spite of one. What are your memories of Evolve? Did you play it during its brief, chaotic life? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this video, check out my other video on the death of VHS. It's a dissection of a 4v1 game that had so much potential but still fell on its sword in the end.